So, hello everyone. Very good evening to you all. We are here with a new session from our sponsor, Echo3D, on how to make a cloud-connected 3D AR VR app. So, before moving forward, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Pratyushkar, a pre-final year undergrad at Ellen City College. I'm a Python developer and ML Cloud lead at GDSC Ellen City. I'm going to be your host for this session. I hope you find this session insightful. So without much further ado, let's get started. Let me share my screen.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. Super excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining our workshop about how you can create a 3D AR VR app in 15 minutes or less. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate the organizers' help to bring this together and kind of inviting us to host a workshop. I'm going to start by saying hello. I'm Alon from Echo3D. We are a cloud platform for 3D applications that provides tools and network infrastructure for developers and creators like yourself to build 3D applications at scale. A little background about myself. I did my master's in computer science at Columbia University, specializing in AR, VR, and computer graphics. Did my undergrad in computer science and electrical engineering, specializing in cloud. So I'm a big believer in the world of 3D and obviously a certified nerd in the world of computer graphics. Now, before we start, I want to level set here a little bit, kind of define a few terms together so we all understand that we are on the same page. Some of you have probably heard about these terms, but let's just level set to make sure that everyone kind of knows what they mean, because I'm going to use them a lot. So we have virtual reality or VR, when everything around you is digital. You're fully immersed in a 3D environment, and everything around you is this 3D construct that is being projected into your eyes through some kind of headset or some kind of smart glasses that fully occludes everything you see. You're controlling the world through some kind of controllers or sometimes your hand, but again, you're fully immersed in this 3D environment. As opposed to augmented reality or AR, in which we still see the real world, but that world is being overlaid with 3D content. You're looking at the world through some smart glasses, or which is basically an optical see-through, or a camera see-through, which could be a phone or a tablet, and you're basically interacting with the world is being overlaid with digital content. Um, in order to understand this, we have the amazing movie Space Jam, in which we've probably heard about. We have Michael Jordan being teleported into Looney Town. Everything around him is a cartoon. He's kind of fully immersed in this cartoonish environment, interacting with bugs and the other Looney Tunes in a fully kind of CGI world. So that's a really kind of good way to understand what VR is, as opposed to what we have later in the movie, which is a good example for AR, in which the Looney Tunes are coming to our world, interacting with Bill Murray, with Jordan, playing basketball together, and basically interacting with these digital assets in the real world. So this is obviously a comical example of a cool movie that you definitely have to watch. But a real world example of this is something that you've probably all known and probably even used. Things like Pokemon Go, that's a prime example of augmented reality. People are running around, interacting with digital monsters that are not really there and kind of playing around in the real world, as opposed to something like Beat Saber, that is a classic example for virtual reality, in which we have players slashing cubes based on the rhythm of the music, fully immersed in this kind of CGI environment where everything around it is computer generated. So now that we know what AR and VR mean and the difference between them, another example that I want to show you is another example that is basically really close to my heart, and the pun is definitely intended. This is my thesis project back at Columbia University, where we took CT and MRI scan of people's heart, aortas, lungs, converted them into 3D, and then put those 3D assets on smart glasses called Hollands, which you can see the doctor wearing here. And the doctor was able to see the patient heart floating above them during surgery. How crazy is that? I got the opportunity to scrub into surgery, again, take those 2D scans, convert them to 3D assets, and put them on those smart glasses for the physician to wear. That process was really, really cool. A really great example of AR and the OR. But in order to do that, I had to do something that I really, really hate. And that's waking up really early in the morning. I had to go to the hospital at around 6 a.m., take those 2D scans, convert them to 3D, deploy the application again. And that process was so frustrating. It took so much time. As a developer, I basically wanted to do just two things. I wanted to manage 3D content, and I wanted to deploy it to a 3D device. And when talking to other developers who are building applications other than surgery, such as retail, shopping, gaming, advertising, and more, they all said the same thing. It's really hard to manage and deliver 3D assets. But if you think about it, that problem was solved for 2D, right? You don't need to be a web developer to upload a blog post. You can use something like Heroku if you're building a website to basically build your app backend. Or if you're building a mobile app, you can use something like Firebase or Parse to build your backend for your application. So we went from web to mobile to now this new type of content, which is AR, VR, 3D, immersive. And the question has to be asked, who's going to build that new content for this new type of kind of evolution? And you've guessed it, that's Echo. So we are a cloud platform for 3D applications that basically provides you, again, the creators, with tools and network infrastructure to build any 3D application that you can imagine. Today, our community has over 12,000 developers, and we really, really welcome you to join this community. Because again, if you think about it, you don't need to be a web developer to update a blog post. You drag and drop an image or video, suddenly they appear in web and mobile. And if I'm in New York and you're in California and you're both watching an episode on Netflix, we automatically get the best streaming experience. We translated these concepts into 3D, basically providing you with a way to manage and deliver 3D data and get the best 3D streaming experience. So Echo is basically this kind of cloud platform that allows you to manage and deliver content all over the world. And I really, really want to kind of welcome you to our platform and kind of show you how to play around with it, how you can build an app in 15 minutes or less. All you have to do is to go to our website. You can register for free. And if you're here from a hackathon or some kind of event, make sure to ask for the event organizers to share the specific link that basically will provide you with a perk to register and get access to premium features for free. So all you have to do is go to our website, register for free, and you're going to get access to our platform. I'm going to jump into a demo right now to show you how to interact with the platform, how to build an app, and how everyone could stream assets to their phone right now. So let me kind of jump into the console. There we go. So once you register to Echo, you're going to get this project key. Basically, that will be your key to basically create applications. You have multiple keys, basically multiple collections of 3D assets, and we have a collection of platform integrations that you're able to leverage. Today, we're going to show web, mobile, a lot of things together. So on the left, it's our platform. On the right, it's just my phone. And I'm going to start with something super, super simple. I'm going to add some content to the cloud. And again, it's something that you all can do. I'm going to click this button right here, and then we see the Add to Cloud menu. I can add images, videos, 3D models, anything works. And we also have this kind of cool collection of free 3D models that you can use absolutely for free to integrate into your application. There's a search engine that you can use to find 3D models that you can basically get from the internet. But I'm going to use this model of the Empire State Building. I'm going to upload it to our cloud. What happens right now is that we take that 3D model that's really suited for 3D printing, and we convert it so it works on Android, iOS, Magic Leap, all these different AR, VR, and 3D platforms. Now, once it's done, I'm able to see the 3D model right here, and we can see that the file that was originally one file format was converted to other file formats on the fly, nothing to worry about. But now that we have it here, let's see it in augmented reality. So what I'm going to do automatically is I'm going to basically open a sample app right here. You can actually download right here, either for Android or iOS. So let me download that sample app. There you go. I'm going to just open it right here. Camera instantiates. Basically, I'm going to plug in the API key that I have right here. So for example, let's throw that in. Data will stream from the cloud to the device. Camera recognizes the floor. I'm going to tap the screen, and voila, I'm going to see the Empire State right here next to me. How cool is that? In my apartment. I'm scaling it up and down with my fingers. Super, super easy. How cool is that? Yeah, and I can walk around it, walk inside it. Really, really cool stuff. Perfect. So I saw the Empire State Building on mobile, but what if I can tell you that I can actually stream that Empire State Building to everyone's devices right now? So what you show right now is the fully fledged mobile app, but we also have a web integration that basically allows you to see 3D models just through a website. So I'm going to click this button right here. It will open a QR code that basically allows you to scan. If you're on the call, like if you're on basically seeing this live right now, scan this QR code with me. It will redirect to a website. You don't have to install anything. It will basically allow you to see the Empire State Building right now on your phone. Just scan this QR code, redirects to the website. You don't have to do anything technical. I'm already able to see it on the website. Now, if I click CNAR, camera again opens up, no installation needed. Camera will recognize the floor next to me, and voila, the Empire State is here. Let me know in the comments if you're able to scan the QR code and basically see that 3D model. Just move the phone around a little bit in the floor next to you, and it should kind of pop up, and you'll be able to kind of place it, rotate it on the base, and kind of move it around. Great stuff. Okay, so we saw mobile, we saw web. I'm also going to share here a link if you want to see that building later. Oh, great. I love there's really, really cool reactions here in the comments. Here is a link. If someone is not watching this live, they can go to this link to see the same building that everyone's seeing. It's in the comments right now. Love it. Oh, great reactions. Thanks, you guys. Perfect. So we saw web, we saw mobile. Another example that I want to show you is Unity. It's a game engine that a lot of developers love to use. And later we're going to basically show a full demo with Unity and how you can build apps with Unity. But look how cool what we just did. We just dragged it up some asset. It could be image, it could be a video, it could be a 3D model, and automatically we're able to see it on the floor next to us. So super, super simple. Okay, so up until now, everything we saw was basically based on surface detection. The camera recognizes the floor and overlays that with some kind of 3D asset. Another technology that we support is image recognition, basically allowing you to upload an image and then the camera recognizes the image and overlay data on top of that. So let's see how that works. So if I click this button right here again for the QR code, and instead of doing see on the floor, I'm going to do see on an image. I'm going to scan this QR code right here. You can do it with me if you want, if you're seeing this live. It redirects again to a website. You don't have to install anything. But now, instead of putting my phone kind of oriented towards the floor, I'm going to keep it on this image. And bam, the Empire State Building just shoots exactly kind of out of the screen. Really, really cool stuff. I'm able to kind of interact with it and kind of uses the target, the image as the target for the kind of image recognition. So try that yourself. You can also kind of snap a photo of this, share it with your friends. I'm going to leave it here for a sec to see if anyone wants to scan. Another thing that I'm going to do is basically upload some additional content just for you to kind of see and interact with what else you can kind of use with Echo. Thanks for the perfect reactions, you guys. This is great. Let's upload a video. So if you don't have a 3D model, you don't want to use one of the collections, you can literally upload just a video. And now instead of doing anywhere, I'm going to choose on an image. So I'm basically going to choose in just a PNG, just the regular image that I want to use as a target, that when the camera sees it, it will overlay that with the video. So let's do that. Uploading to our cloud, same process as we had earlier. Maybe in the meantime, I'll also upload another model that it'll just to show you that you can also upload content with a location. For example, I can decide that I want to build a Pokemon Go style experience, and I want to have this fox show up in New York. Perfect. If I'm creating the app, let's say if someone opens in New York, they're going to see the Empire State Building. If I open it in San Francisco, they'll see the Golden Gate Bridge. So basically, you can create really cool kind of location-based apps by just uploading content that is tagged with a specific location. Another really, really cool and powerful kind of difference between what we call 2D applications and 3D applications. The content is basically kind of attached to a location, which is really cool. And again, it's something that you kind of know from stuff like Pokemon Go. Perfect. So we have the model right here. You can see its location. We have the kind of video playing right here in front of us. Really, really, really cool stuff. And now if I'm going to scan this QR code, that basically will allow me to see the video in augmented reality. And again, you can do this yourself as well. If you're watching this live, just kind of scan this QR code. It will redirect you to a website. Now that the camera opens up, it will see the QR code, but the QR code here is just basically a way for you to redirect to the website. The camera doesn't recognize it anymore. Why is that? Because we added an image target. So if I use this image as a target and the camera sees it, bam, suddenly on top of this image, we see that video. I'm going to tap it so it will start playing. How cool is that? This image could be anything you want. It could be a magazine. It could be a business card. It could be a billboard, anything. You can literally have your business card, and then when you scan it, you're going to see a video of yourself talking about it yourself. Really cool stuff, right? So this is kind of a cool demo that, again, you can do literally in just a few clicks with Echo. Perfect. So we saw how you can upload 3D models. We saw how you can upload videos. I'm also going to show you how to upload an image. Again, super straightforward, just throwing in an image here. Our system will convert it to a 3D sticker. So basically, let's say you want to have an art project. You upload your creation or a trading card because you want to sell NFTs. Upload that to Echo. It will automatically convert to a 3D sticker they can put on the wall, put on the floor, share with anyone. So there we go. We have this kind of AR lion. And if I go to this link, it will basically allow me to see it as a 3D sticker. And again, you can scan it as a QR code and put it on the wall around you. Super, super cool stuff. This is true for everything. So instead of going to scan the QR code, you can also kind of just click the share button and basically interact with content that way. Basically text this to anyone you want, tweet about it, and people will be able to see your content all over the world. Perfect. So we saw mobile, we saw web. We're going to see Unity in a sec. Let's kind of dive into the platform a little bit, and there we're going to do a full kind of demo with Unity and kind of how to code your application. A lot of the things that we do so far are pretty kind of no code, how you can build stuff really quickly. After that, we're going to transition to something more technical. So in the console, you can see that you can manage your content. You can also switch a theme, which is the coolest thing. Obviously, dark theme is the default. You have a bunch of resources here, like our documentation, our GitHub page that is filled with amazing open source example that you can start playing with. Our Slack channel that is really the place for you to go to ask any question related to Echo AR or get support. Email us or give us a tweet. I'm going to share some of these links here. For example, our documentation is literally a step-by-step guide of everything we did so far, how you can upload stuff, how you can interact with them. Really, really cool stuff that could be like a perfect resource for you all. When it comes to our documentation, I'm going to jump here. I'm sorry, for our repository, I'm going to jump right here and basically show you. There's a bunch of examples that you should definitely check out. Here we are. Oh, the link is broken. Sorry about that. Echo3D. Yep, there we go. I'm going to share the link here as well. Really, really cool, innovative projects. Maybe I'll share a few with you. Let's look at the, let's do car racing and then remote work. And let's do another example around COVID that maybe later we're going to build together. Here's a solar system example. Really, really, really cool stuff that you can build, like a game that basically has a car flying in 3D, or something when it comes to remote work. Everyone wants to kind of just interact with everyone, so you can kind of throw in a 3D model. A COVID visualizer, we will build that later together. A educational app around solar systems. Really, really cool and engaging stuff that you can build. A living room inside a living room. How cool is that? These are really cool examples of applications that you can build. And again, I'm going to share a few resources later as well. We have this Slack channel. Let me throw that in too, so you can kind of play around with it. And definitely join our Slack to ask support questions. Other things that we can do in the console, we can kind of manage data. We can see the locations of your data, where it is around the world, get some insights on how your content is doing. We just streamed the Empire Steel Building, so we kind of see a spike in usage. You can convert and compress models. You can edit them. Really, really cool, engaging stuff. Let's say it's Christmas and I want to change the model so it'll be more Christmassy. Perfect. Let's make it red instead of yellow. Really cool stuff. In the customized page, we're able to add more data and basically customize how the web AR experience works, add buttons, interactions, stuff like that. The tutorial page is a really powerful page, has all of these kind of Q&A buttons that here that you can interact with, and it shows you a bunch of examples that are completely open source that you can grab and play around with. And now, in a second, we're going to see how you can build an application. But look at all these amazing kind of examples. If it's wall tracking, surface tracking, games, face tracking, really, really cool engaging stuff. It's all here that you can use for free. The last page that I'm going to show you, which I really, really love, is our inspiration page. This is where you come in. This is where our community showcases their work, where we have an endless supply of examples of AR, VR, 3D, things around e-commerce and NFTs and gaming and data visualization and surgery and education. Really, really, really cool stuff that you should definitely check out just to get inspired of what people are building. Perfect. So we saw how you can interact with the console. Now let's see how it integrates to Unity. Unity is a game engine a lot of developers love to use. Here it is. Once you download and install it, again, it's totally free. You download our SDK right here. It's a file that kind of downloads right to your device. There we go. And you double click it, and it just pops into your Unity application. Really, really simple. Now, Unity uses C#. It's a programming language that is object-oriented, but if you know any other object-oriented language, you should be good. Something like Java, you should be good, so don't worry about that. So what we have here is an empty scene that just has the Echo AR game object. It's basically the example scene that we have right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in this API key into Unity and press play. Data automatically will stream from the cloud to the game engine. It's an empty scene. There's nothing here, just an empty VR scene. And voila, suddenly we see the fox, we see the video, here's the 3D model, here's the image, everything is coming to life. I'm going to delete the video because it's playing in my ear. But basically, all you have to do is press play, and suddenly all these assets just jump into your virtual world. Maybe I'll move the fox a little bit because it's obstructed by the building. So let's do that. And maybe I'll also delete the lion image so we can get a better view. So perfect. So we have the building here. Let's move it a bit. And look how cool it is that I basically change values here, and they automatically reflect in the scene, right? I just click a few clicks, it automatically changes in a virtual world. Definitely something that you should take advantage of. The fact that you can update things in real time. For example, if I want to make this rotate, let's do something like direction equals right. Bam, suddenly it starts to rotate in real time. So these are obviously simple examples, but they're to show how cool you can create your application, how you can kind of basically control things remotely and make things really easy. Oh, great reactions in the comments, you guys. Love it, love it, love it. Again, and the cool thing about it is like we just constructed our kind of virtual scene in Unity, but if I open our sample app that we saw earlier, let me do that, you're actually going to see the same scene constructed. So now we have a fox and we have a building and we have the building rotated. And now when I'm opening the app again and I'm plugging my key, let's do that. Again, data will stream from the cloud to the device, and you'll be able to see all of that together. So check this out. Here's the building, and here's the fox, and they're both here. So both that we have it in VR, we have it in AR, all at the same time. Really, really cool stuff. And it's all kind of responsive and all happening in real time. So really, really cool stuff. Okay. So we saw mobile, we saw web, we saw Unity. Now let's customize things a little bit, add some coding to kind of just see what we can do. So I am going to, let's say, delete this building, center the fox. Perfect. Okay. So we have a fox right here in the center, and now we want to add some features to it, basically change things in real time. So what's cool about Echo is that every 3D asset that is using Unity and Echo has a script attached to it called the custom behavior script. This is, again, a C# script that is really easy to handle. It's in Unity format, and it basically allows you to add features and kind of do anything you want after the kind of data spawns into your virtual world. So let's see what we have here. So we have this start function, evident by its name. Is called when you start the application. So every time a Unity application starts, this code snippet kind of is executed. And you also have the update function, which is a really, really interesting function if you think about it, because this function runs every single frame. Remember, you're coding in 3D now. This means there's like a 3D scene being rendered, almost like a video that is in real time. So every single frame, something needs to happen. In our case, this function is kind of empty. We're leaving it here for now. But remember this almost like a infinite for loop or a while true loop that kind of happens all the time. Don't overcrowd it, because that will basically affect your performance. And if this kind of function, if this kind of segment of code hangs or crashes, your entire application will hang or crash. So let's focus on the start function now. Let's see what we have here. We're adding some component to basically allow for transformations. After that, we're asking, do I have any additional data? If I do I have a name? And if I have a name, set the name of the object to that name. Easy stuff, right? So let's see how that works in action. So I'm going to add some name to it. So let's do name equals Kevin. That's a good name for a fox. And now I'm going to press play. Data again will stream from the cloud to the game engine. But now instead of having the fox, we have Kevin the fox. How cool is that? All we had to do, just click a few clicks, the function runs, and then we have Kevin the fox. Now let's change the name of the fox from Kevin to Tom. Nothing happened. Why? Because that snippet of code only happens when we start the application, which means that if I'll restart the application, now the fox that was previously named Kevin will now be named Tom. How easy is that? Now, but let's say we want these updates to happen in real time. We want it to change every time, and just know that even if we change something in console, that will also reflect here. What can we do? You guessed it. We're going to move that snippet of code from the start function to the update function. Basically saying, every frame, check, do I have any additional data? If I do, check if it's a name. And if it's a name, change my name. Perfect. So I saved the new script. And now we're going to replay the scene right here. We're going to have Tom the fox appear in front of us. And what's cool about this is, again, that you can have anything you want. You can have any, there we go, we have Tom the fox. You can add any feature, any interaction, any change that you want based on the data that is being streamed. And there you go, now it's Kevin. How cool is that, right? Just clicking a few clicks. So with this technology, you can basically do anything. You can have metadata here, control if flows, enable or disable features remotely, add features, change names, interactions, anything goes. That's the kind of really powerful thing with Unity and Echo together that basically allows you to fully control your application remotely. And then when you deploy it as a mobile app, everything changes in AR too, which is really, really cool. Okay, so we saw an example of a very simple application. Now let's take it up a notch and kind of see what else we can do. So let me delete this. I'm going to upload a 3D model from my computer this time. Let's see. I have a model right here. Now I'm just uploading from local storage as opposed to using something from our library. Same process I already know and love. What I did here is I also included another file when I uploaded the model. I also included a CSV file, basically an Excel file, a spreadsheet of metadata of keys and values that once the system kind of parses through the upload, it will add that as metadata. As opposed to me like just adding all these keys and values, I'm just adding it together so it will kind of know that in advance. Super, super easy. And again, just saves you time when you want to add content. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to swap the custom behavior script under the hood. So I'm going to just change this script. I'm doing some background magic. Perfect. And now we have the globe right here. Really, really cool stuff. And we have all these kind of continents, Africa, Antarctica, Asia, all of them with different values. And now when I'm going to press play, data will stream from the cloud to the game engine. But now we have a different script and different values. And voila, suddenly we have the Earth right here, spinning, rendering. And we have this graph that we created through script that allows you to see COVID cases around the world, for example. How cool. And that's all through script. Let's review that script together. So now if we go back to the code, it's a bit different. Here we have an array of continents. We have a dictionary, some kind of data structure. We also have the start function that looks pretty much the same. But now the update function is much, much, much more interesting. So for example, here we have a kind of if clause that asks, do I have any additional data? If I do I have the word scale? If so, parse that scale and set that scale of the model based on that number. And then we iterate over all continents, and we're asking, do I have data on that continent? If I do, set this basically get that number of as a kind of the number of cases of COVID in that continent, and then say, well, if I have that cases, if I have it and I have a graph for it, scale that graph. If I don't have a graph, let's create it. Create a cylinder, give it a color, give it a name, put it on next to kind of the spinning globe, and basically set the size of the cylinder to reflect the number of cases. Really, really cool stuff. And again, all through code. So that's what we see here. When we basically click the buttons right here, we're able to see all these different continents, all these different kind of data points automatically rendered in front of us. And we'll say it will happen if you build your application through mobile. And also, as we remember, this 3D model is also accessible in WebAR, in which we kind of just use a link or scan a QR code and basically see it automatically. Really, really cool stuff. Awesome. So let's recap a little bit, kind of see what we talked about. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to kind of join our Slack to ask any question there. And if you have any issues kind of recreating what we just did, you can also always return to this video or kind of ask questions in the support Slack. So let's recap. So what we see so far, we saw how you can build with any platform. You can use web, mobile, Unity, and we saw how content creators who are not that technical can literally drag and drop content. Everything we did in the beginning was really, really non-technical, and automatically see it in 3D and augmented reality. Once you upload content, we make sure to build, store, and deliver that content to any device in the world. And it's really cool that some of you were able to kind of scan a QR code and see that Empire State Building in your phones right now. Really, really cool stuff. So as you saw, we saved developers time and money. We helped content creators with really a cool way to create applications without needing any technical skills. And we help companies send data all over the world. We basically discussed a lot of use cases. We talked about healthcare, and we talked about games and shopping and data visualization. And we saw the inspiration page that is filled with amazing examples of things that you can build today. A little bit more about us as a company. We're backed by some of the most amazing investors in the country and won a bunch of awards. And we're there for every tech event and hope to see you there once things go back to normal and people can travel. Hope to see you all in different events. If you see our team there, come and say hello. Say that you kind of went through this workshop. I'm super excited to kind of interact with you all in person one day. At Echo, we love to say that we are basically powering applications across platforms, allowing you to build applications everywhere, if it's web, mobile, game engines. So start building. This is definitely the time to build, get inspired by other people's creations, and explore how you can build something really, really cool in 3D. Make sure to go to our website to register for free. If you're here again from an event or a hackathon, definitely use that kind of a special link to get access to premium features for free. Really, really thank you for joining this workshop. I had such a good time. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, again, go to our Slack, ask our team, interact with it. This is really, really the time to build, and I can't wait to see what you're going to build with Echo. Thank you so much for joining this workshop, and thank you so much for the amazing reactions and the chat. Really, really appreciate it. Have a good one. Stay safe, healthy, and sane, and really excited to see where you're going to build with Echo3D. Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you guys for joining this session. Have a nice evening.